We really believe in albums and books because it doesn't change. It's actually going to stand the test of time.
Hi, I'm Heather.
And I'm Jamie, and we own Roux Photography. We are an exclusive wedding photography studio. We've been doing weddings since 2010. We have a ton of associates that shoot for us, and we shoot a lot of weddings.
Why are albums one of your main product and revenue drivers of your business?
Albums are one of our main products because we include them in every wedding collection. Our clients don't have a choice. We want to make sure that they get something that they can take home. We believe that when it comes to albums, a book is, like you always say, a book is a book is a book. It's not going to change. In 50 years from now, your great-great-grandkids are going to know how to open a book and look at it. But when we first started, we used to deal with DVDs. We would put everybody's pictures on DVDs, and nobody does that anymore. So we really believe in albums and books because it doesn't change. It's actually going to stand the test of time.
And who do you print your albums through?
We print all of our albums through Miller's. They have incredible customer service. They're incredibly easy to order, and
they're fast.
Very quick turnaround too as well.
And if you ever have a problem, it's not an issue. They take care of it like that. So this is an example of one of our sample albums that we show to our potential clients. We really love this album. One, because we love the size. This is a 12 by 12, which is the size we try to get everybody to get to. It's also in one of our favorite cover materials. We love a traditional brown and black leather. That's just us. I know a ton of options with, like cotton and linen materials. Acrylic's great, but for us, we just always love the simple. There's like a beauty in the simplicity of a brown or black leather. Just it's classic. One thing we love is we love the thick pages that Miller's has. So when people are you can really see how thick the pages can get. You know, people are flipping through this thing for the next 100 years. You want to make sure, again, that it lasts. But in particular, this album is a wedding that tells the complete story from start to finish, from getting ready all the way to the exit. I'm hitting the microphone there. But there are weddings sometimes that you shoot that are just fantastic, and you love this wedding. Everything about it's great, but it doesn't tell the whole story. We want to show the whole story start to finish. You know, sometimes the wedding was fantastic, but for some reason, the groom didn't want getting ready pictures, or the ceremony was like 2 seconds long. This wedding here was a wedding we shot in right outside Los Angeles, California. She is actually a wedding photographer, which helps. It's always the biggest compliment when another wedding photographer wants you to shoot their wedding. That's a huge compliment for us. This is probably right here, my favorite moment of the whole wedding. This was during their first look. It's kind of hard to see on the video, but she's got like a tear coming down her eyes. It's really beautiful. But this was done on an avocado farm. I'd never been to an avocado farm before. But I just thought the whole wedding is fantastic.
So if you're a new photographer just starting to sell albums, definitely recommend showing the largest size that you want to sell. You want people to fall in love with the big book and see that they can definitely get some upgrades from what may be included. And you definitely want to keep your spreads simple and show that, the layouts don't have to include 75 photos per page, because we want to get those pages in, but really show off each photo. And also you want to show covers that you want to sell and what they can upgrade to. So you can get standard linen, but we want to show leather or acrylic, so they fall in love with that and they want to upgrade to that cover.
So what I would say is to someone who's just starting out selling albums is whatever you want to sell, show what you want to sell. Make sure whatever upgrades you want to offer, make sure that's in there. If you want to sell acrylic covers, make sure it's an acrylic cover. If you want to sell big giant 20 by 20 books, order that. Don't show something small and expect them to get the big giant upgrade, because people buy what they see. So if you've never designed an album ever in Fundy software, the first thing I think you should do is just do an auto album. Put your photos in there and just see how great the software is at just designing an album from scratch. You'll be surprised. if it doesn't get it on the first try, it gets you damn near in that ballpark like that.
So when you're presenting the album to the client for the first time, you want to choose a kind of an emotional song, nothing too wild, because you definitely want them to be paying attention to the photos. It's just kind of background to keep them engaged. We love Wedding Song number 2. That's just our favorite. It works very, very well every single time.
You'd be surprised. You might listen to it and go, I don't know about that, but just play it. I'm telling you, it works.
And then also, we show the photos that are going to be in the album, because these are the ones that you've included and you want them to see and fall in love with those. If you show them the entire gallery of their wedding, this is entirely too much. The song's going to play 12 times, and then they're thinking, well, I think I saw this photo or this photo. Mm-hmm. So you want them to fall in love with the images that you've chosen, because you know the best and you have chosen the best and you know what's important to them. And then we also, in that slideshow, show them some wall art options, because they might not even be thinking about, oh my goodness, I want this and I want to see this in my house, but you've kind of stuck that in their mind as the slideshow is going through.
Right, because people buy what they see.
So that's a really interesting question. So for wall art, for if people are just starting, what's the best way to get started as far as like canvas, acrylic, metal, frames? Like what should they start with to make it easy? And then what collections work really well for you?
I think if you're trying to decide which wall art options to offer, I think a great place to start is canvas. Everybody knows canvas. It's really easy to sell. It looks great in everybody's home. I'm a big fan of the acrylics. I love the way they look. We have them in our house. A little secret I have is I love on the acrylics, what I love is you can add a white border around it so it looks like a framed matted print. But it's kind of different. It looks great. We have those. We have them all over our house.
Do you find people like just a single acrylic or canvas, or like a trip, like 3 photos, or like a certain collage that sells really well?
So as far as collections, like which ones a lot of people love, is we get a lot of people that really want that big giant statement piece, which I also really like. We have one behind us here, like a 40 by 40 print. That people really love that, but also there's this like triptych. I think I'm calling it the right way, where it's one giant art piece, maybe like a 30 by 40, and 2 accompanying smaller pieces that go with it. And it really allows you to tell a story, especially for weddings. Like a first look, this is great. Or during portraits, you can do like a full body portrait of on the main piece, and then 2 close-ups, and it kind of tells the whole story of the first look. You can get it from both people's perspective. A lot of people buy those. A lot of people love that. So it's not just for weddings. I can't tell you how many engagement sessions we get to upgrade thousands of dollars for their album, thousands of dollars for wall art, and it's just an engagement session. And all that does is that gets them prepped for the wedding album. They already know now that I've spent on my engagement. When we go through the wedding, the album sales are already going to be higher because they've already been conditioned to spend.
So if you're first starting out, Fundy Designer and Millers together definitely make this entire thing easy and as fast as humanly possible. You can have a wedding show on Wednesday, shoot a really bad ass wedding on Saturday, load all your images into Fundy, auto design it, tweak it if you want to.
Order the album right in the software.
Straight through Fundy to Millers, and then it gets to your house in like 2 days.
Like 2 days. Millers gets everything right to you. Like, it's insane how fast they get everything to you.